Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the TB&J podcast. With me today is Troy Brittingham.
And across from me is Jeff Ackerman.
Your waveform on the thing looks like a penis. Anyway,
That was the intention, I guess.
She-Hulk.
TB&J!
And your color on the in my DAW is green, so it looks like a big green dick, which is appropriate for Hulk.
Does it also grow? Or is it like a steroids thing?
I mean, it can grow if you get louder. That's how audio waveforms work.
That's what I was talking about. That's correct.
Oh, you meant dicks.
Nope. I went the way.
Anyway, She-Hulk. Self-contained wedding episode. Troy, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Thumbs up.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Are you?
Yeah.
It was a thumbs up for me as well.
Okay.
See, the thing with this show is that a lot of B-plots in a lot of sitcoms feel very shoehorned in and they feel like shit. Not so in She-Hulk. I'm really enjoying all these B-plots. They are hilarious to me. Abso-fucking-lutely hilarious. And as soon as I see them, I understand why the internet hates them.
So they hinted at an A-plot in this, and you almost seemed upset.
What do you mean?
Like, at the very, very end, they hinted that there's, like, an actual sort of, like,
overarching plot of the
thing
show, yeah.
happening. And you almost kind of, like, gave it, like, a sigh, because you're just like, I want more, like, dumb lawyer shit.
I do really like the dumb shit. But at the same time, like, yeah, you teased me with a little bit of some good shit. And then you're like, nope, we're going to save it for later. Like that outfit we teased last episode and then didn't show you this episode.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's not in it yet.
Yeah, no. Also, 2 weeks in a row, we did not get a credit scene.
Yeah,
or a little joke scene.
So conspiracy.
Wongers, it's hard to top Wongers. I'll give you that. So maybe we needed these 2 weeks of none to like palate cleanse to understand that we're never gonna hit that high again. But at the same time, like just write a stupid joke and let me see it.
Conspiracy theory time. Do you think that they removed them after the Megan Thee Stallion backlash?
No. I
don't think so either.
I don't think so either. There's no fucking way because the Megan Thee Stallion backlash wasn't actually a backlash.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that I know whose opinion I actually respect on things was like, oh, cool. That was cool of Megan Thee Stallion to do a little cameo in Disney, and now she's like canon in Marvel.
Or I don't care.
Or I don't care. Like, cool, hilarious. Like, that's all it really needed to be. You don't need to have these fucking, like, male internet warriors being like, how dare you put this hip-hop star in my Marvel show? Like, dude.
Well, people were mostly upset that She-Hulk twerked.
Okay. It's a Marvel show on Disney+. It's literally a situational comedy. Shove it up your ass, you gross fuddy-duddies. All right? Get the fuck out of my face. Get off my internet platform. We are allowed to have fun in the fucking 21st century. We've slaved enough as coal miners in tunnels and as chimney sweeps in Victorian
podcasters.
London. And as podcasters. We have slaved for hundreds of years for mediocre drama entertainment.
Ye old podcasts.
Ye old podcasts. Back when there was no audio and everything was in black and white and you had to have subtitles on all your podcasts.
But they were also audio only.
Oh my god, we need to do a bit of like a silent movie era podcast.
It's just like old timey, like
yeah. There's just like jaunty piano music, and then it's just like us talking, and then it cuts to they said this and this and this, and then back to us talking, and I'm waving my arms around like always.
There's no subtitles because it's audio only, but there is descriptive audio, but there's no original audio.
Guys, I really like this as a bit. I really want to make this sketch, or at least mail out this sketch idea to like SNL or Auntie Donna or somebody else I actually respect, and have them turn it into something. Ooh, Grouse House does a lot of weird shit.
Well, are you saying that you don't respect us?
I'm saying I don't have the budget, time, or effort. No, this episode was fine. It was a self-contained wedding episode. Titania showed up, and she got to beat the fuck out of She-Hulk.
Tatiana also showed up. It's her show.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tatiana Maslany. Yeah, that's her real name. But no, Titania showed up. She and She-Hulk had a little bit of a fight where She-Hulk got the upper hand and humiliated Titania on Instagram, which was hilarious. But I guess the big bit of this episode that happened was the discovery of Intelligentsia, which is this universe's version of Reddit, which, I mean, I'm a white guy. I'm straight. I have a podcast. All right? All the check boxes are there for does this guy use Reddit.
You probably talk about something very unique on your podcast.
Yeah, films and TV. That's not been done a million times before. But yeah, I'm on Reddit. Okay? I'm on Reddit a lot. But I'm on Reddit. I'm on, like, stupid subreddits, you know? There's a subreddit I just subscribed to called Just Rolled Into the Shop, where mechanics post, like, dumb customers saying shit, where it's like, customer came in saying the engine sounded a little funny, and then it's a picture of the engine opened up, and it's just, like, completely dry of oil, and 2 of the fucking pistons are, like, cracked or some shit. And it's like, wow, that guy's a fucking idiot driving his car like that. It makes me feel good about myself.
I mean, to be fair, I think Reddit's, like, literally in, like, the top 10 most visited things. Like, I feel like
it's definitely a top 10 visited website in the world.
Almost everybody, like, has a Reddit or goes to Reddit. Being a Redditor is a much different thing than going to Reddit.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point, actually. Top 10 websites 2022.
TheMinions.com.
No. Actually, no. Google, YouTube, Facebook. That's obviously the top 3.
Yeah.
Twitter, Wikipedia, Instagram, Reddit number 7.
Okay.
Reddit beat Amazon.
Interesting. Well,
and this
is what's the metric on that? Like time visited? Because I can see that.
Visits and paid visits in general, like generalized hits. And then they have other metrics here, like pages per visit. Like while like Red Manga NATO is underneath Amazon.
Okay.
They have less total visits, but they have more pages per visit. Does that make sense?
Yes, and also it's not interesting to anybody else.
No. But no. Reddit is a top 10 website in the world. They are number 7. And it's just everybody. There's not a single person alive that has not seen a meme or a video or something else stupid or crazy that didn't come from Reddit or TikTok or something else stupid like that, you know? It's just another form of social media. Except Reddit is different in that you can, like, customize your feed to view, like, world news and funny cats and dad jokes, literally, and just dumb shit like that. Or, in the case of this episode of She-Hulk, it can be an entire sub-page dedicated to killing the She-Hulk. Because, you know, that's totally plausible, right, Troy?
Yeah.
What did you think of that?
It's fine. I feel like I'm wondering if this. So for 2 things. One, I'm wondering if it was even like intentionally supposed to be like not a Reddit call out, but like
there's no way it wasn't modeled after Reddit.
Sure.
Every post had upvote and downvote things in the top left corner, the same way Reddit posts do. And on the far right-hand side of the thing, it had, like, the subreddit About Me bar with, like, other, like, top 5 subreddits people like as well. The page looked like they took a Reddit page and just put, like, a skin over it.
Right.
Like, all the web layout and web design was the same.
Yeah. My other thing is I don't... So, here's the question. Do you think that they... Because this has been filmed, I don't know about a while ago, I don't know when it filmed, but it was...
Certainly, you know, long enough ago, you know...
yeah, things don't film overnight.
No.
But do you think that, like, this was a pre-call-out of, like... Because the Reddit backlash and, like, the Twitter backlash and everything backlash is very, very predictable.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that it was planned to be that, or also people are yelling and this was already just in the show?
I mean, there's no way it wasn't, right? Like, I don't believe for a second it wasn't completely on purpose. And there's no way that wasn't, like, super tongue-in-cheek, like, we're onto you, motherfuckers. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, remember, this woman who's the showrunner here used to work for Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon.
Oh, okay.
She very much understands the way of the world. I guarantee that. There's no way you don't work for Dan Harmon for more than a day and understand, like, tongue-in-cheek and calling out your haters to their face.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Harmon is very much a very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, but, like, cavalier, maybe. He's just like, fuck you guys, and I'm going to say it to your face. You don't work for that guy and not come away being like, oh, Reddit's making fun of me? I'm going to make fun of Reddit.
Yeah, he's aware of things and
aware.
That whole
I think that's the word I was looking for, not cavalier. I wish, if only there was like a friend of mine who had like an English degree or something who could like tell me what words I was looking for.
Unfortunately, we can't find any of those to be on this podcast ever.
Jesus, man. I if only we could.
No, Jesus doesn't have an English
Help
degree.
wanted ad right now for this podcast. If you have an English
preferably
degree,
somebody with only a one-letter name.
and your degree can't just be like a bachelor's. I want you to have like a master's in English, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You got to like actually be like a,
And like real old too. Like, just a
super old, like my dad.
Like maybe out the door,
Yeah, maybe like get your affairs in order if they aren't already.
Like if
maybe
you don't
like,
have her will, write one.
Maybe like don't plan any big trips after next year. Maybe like go on that vacation now. Don't wait. Just go now. Go now.
Yeah, but unfortunately, this is a completely hypothetical person.
Hypothetical, absolutely.
Yes.
That person doesn't exist and doesn't listen to this podcast.
Do you think that?
There's no way he does.
No, I'm saying, do you think that people are gonna start thinking that like Dee's dying?
I
if
hope
we keep
so.
on with the joke.
I hope so. Then they'll keep subscribing out of pity. Speaking of D, he did want me to bring up his favorite part of this episode, which is Mr. Immortal. So, in the words of D, in this text message he sent me, which, by the way, I'm watching the show with Troy.
The most bizarre timing.
Shortly before this episode, we recorded this episode, I was sitting down with Troy, and Mr. Immortal came on screen, and I turned to Troy, and I was like, it's your job to find out if this guy's a comic book guy or a guy made up for the show. I need you to figure this out and bring it to the podcast. And you said, okay. And then you showed me your phone seconds later, and there was this text from D, which reads...
That was 3 minutes ago at the time of me reading it.
Yeah, it reads, Mr. Immortal is one of my oldest favorite characters. He's an original member of the Great Lakes Avengers, the John Byrne era of comics. He wasn't like this, portrayed in the show, but it's fine. I loved the actor and the funny take on an abject, ridiculous character. I'd be remiss to not comment on his appearance. Please read this on the pod. I have read it on the pod. I have fulfilled my obligation.
Also, would you like to see this man's costume?
Yes. Oh my God.
It's very, very 90s.
It looks like the most 90s thing I could think of, and the face mask looks like Invincible.
Yeah, it's kind of like he almost seems like a first draft of a superhero.
Kinda, yeah. It's like
He doesn't look bad.
It's like a high schooler drawing a comic book, and they're like, "I'm gonna mail this to Jack Kirby." They slap a stamp on it.
Also, I don't. So he's got an eye on his chest, which sure makes sense, but he's also got eyes on his gloves, and then just the upper thighs of his pants.
Those might just be one-way mirrors. You never know. Maybe his thighs just need to look out at people.
Oh, that's a very interesting interpretation of that, but
or the eye is on his thigh.
Again, this is still nothing.
I love when I can hear the podcast coming to a screeching halt from one of my dumb fucking jokes. Yeah, Mr. Immortal was hilarious. His little B plot where he has to make settlements with his 8 spouses was hilarious. And also, props to Mr. Immortal for not just marrying women. He also married a man.
Bicon.
Yeah, go for it. You're literally immortal. Why not try it out? See if you like it. Apparently you didn't because you only married one man and 7 women, but whatever. And then he says, I have all my Apple stock I bought in 1981 and all the gold from my first wife who departed. So let's just split that evenly. And I'm just like, dude, you're fucking loaded? What the fuck? Like, it was... He is...
I mean, being alive forever will probably do that.
Not necessarily. Being alive forever doesn't make you smart or wealthy. It just makes you durable.
I mean, it either makes you... Well, also, being rich doesn't necessarily... it's not indicative of you being smart either.
Yeah. I can think of quite a few rich people that aren't very bright.
I can't.
Not a single one, huh?
No, I actually idolize all of them.
Would you like me to fill out a list for you?
No, I think that I'm just
Antonio Brown, Deshaun Watson, and these are just sports guys.
You did not go with the way I thought you were going to go with that.
No.
You zigged when I thought you were going to zag.
Well, it's Thursday night, and Thursday night football kickoff is in like 10 minutes. So, it's on my mind.
No, but Mr. Immortal is great in this episode. I think that the only issue that I had with it is that they didn't do more with it. And I think that that's usually a good sign when I'm just like, I wanted more of this. Like, it wasn't even like they didn't do anything with it. It's just that I was like, they could drag this out a little bit longer. And I think that that's starting to become one of my thoughts with She-Hulk is these episodes are very short.
Yeah, they're only like 22 minutes. Like
Yeah,
actual sitcom runtime.
Because it says like 30 on there, but much like TV episodes where you have to factor in the commercials.
I fucking hate that.
Mm-hmm.
TV episodes are 30 minutes because you make room for commercials.
Yep.
There's no commercials on streaming.
Right. Well, in
Yet.
the past,
Yeah.
in the past though, they've gone, Moon Knight has had like 51-minute episodes or whatever, and some of these have had stuff that have gone long. Every episode is very short. And one of the things is you see a thing that says, like, this is 31 minutes long, this is 35 minutes long. And then you realize that, like, Disney end credits are, like, an eternity because so many people worked on all of this stuff. And then you get into all of... It does, like, a whole extra thing of, like, here's all of the other languages across the world that also dubbed this.
Yeah.
And every end credit scene for all Disney stuff is 10 minutes long.
Yeah, that's absolutely a thing, but, like, I've never understood why that should take up runtime.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can easily do credits after the runtime.
I can see the first batch of credits.
Because when you look at a movie's runtime, it goes from the beginning of the movie to the beginning of the credit roll.
Does it?
Yep.
Movie
runtime doesn't count credits.
Interesting.
That Batman, like, 2 hour, 57-minute runtime, that's not counting credits.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. So
I have always been on... I see movies literally nonstop. I'm planning on seeing a movie on Saturday. We're recording this on Thursday.
Tomorrow, right?
Are we... Was that the plan?
I guess not.
Oh.
I guess it's Saturday then. It doesn't make a difference to me. We can do it Saturday.
Oh, no. I think we were talking about two different things. I wasn't even factoring in that plan yet.
Okay.
So I have a different movie.
I wasn't either. I'm talking about Don't Worry, Darling.
Right.
Which comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, me and some friends that you do know, we're planning on seeing Pearl tomorrow.
Pearl.
It's like a kind of an A24 horror movie.
Okay.
Okay. I could possibly do both though, but that's for off the air conversation.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air. I just want to do it before Sunday because Sunday's football day.
I can't do it on Sunday, so it's fine.
Oh, perfect. Wonderful.
We need to talk about She-Hulk.
She-Hulk's... There's not a whole lot to talk about this episode.
No, so there is a little bit, so...
At the end, we did see them with, like, the increased weaponry to try to extract her blood. Mm-hmm. We have no idea what whoever wants her blood for.
Right. So this is one of the frustrating things about the show, though, because of the runtime and everything, is I feel like there isn't a ton to talk... Like, both of us enjoy the show.
Very much so, yes. I look forward to this show every week now.
And it's hard for podcasting because I'm like, it feels like not like, there's not like a ton of meat to every episode.
Right.
That being said, this one has a little bit of meat towards the end we talked about the intelligentsia.
Uh-huh.
And then what do you think about the Josh guy at the wedding?
I feel like there's something else going on there. There's no way he's just a genuine nice guy.
So it also like zoomed in, like they're watching their dinner, specifically, does he?
I think he might be like an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or an agent of Hydra, even so. And maybe Hydra is trying to get like a blood sample of She-Hulk to try to kill her and maybe go after Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
It could be Skrull shit. I don't fucking know.
Speaking of which, we also had a phone conversation where she was trying to get a hold of Bruce and cannot.
Yeah. She left Bruce a voicemail. She's trying to get a hold of him. And she's like, I've been trying for like days or weeks or months. I don't even know. And I'm just like, great. There goes any time frame reference that you may have given me in this show. Just dash it away, why don't you? And I feel like that was also done as a joke.
I mean, it was just them throwing a bone of just like, hey, anybody who's genuinely here to watch like only Marvel stuff, and then like I've noticed that is like a thing with Marvel stuff recently, is they like I feel like we've had so many things that are like just fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thor: Love and Thunder is a big one that comes to mind. A bunch of these Disney Plus shows come to mind, where people are just like, this isn't even like important to the plot. The Ant-Man movies have this problem too, where people are like, nothing super important happens, and I'm like, yeah, but like, is the movie fun? Like, do people say funny jokes that you like, and like.
It's why, like, and I'm kind of starting to like Marvel again a little bit, because they're leaning into using Marvel as a vehicle for different types of movies and shows. Like, this is a lawyering sitcom that's using Marvel as a vehicle for that.
Well, they've always sort of done that. It's just that...
always is a stretch. Iron Man was always very samey. Captain America was very samey. They had a formula going for a while.
Yeah, but they have like Winter Soldier's like a sort of like a political thriller kind of thing. Like there's.
I wouldn't call it a thriller, but it's a political something.
Yeah. Winter Soldier's my favorite one. So
I know. Winter Soldier is a lot of people's favorite.
The
movie.
the only thing is, I know that they say that Ant-Man is a heist movie, and it's not really. Ant-Man 2's a little bit more of a heist, but even then,
it's just your main character was a criminal.
Yeah,
like that's all you're leaning into.
And I mean, it was gonna be Edgar Wright, but then it wasn't.
Oh, I wish it was Edgar Wright. Can you imagine the soundtrack?
It would be maybe the best movie in the MCU.
I would own that soundtrack on vinyl if Edgar Wright did it. Which Baby Driver on vinyl is something I don't have yet in my collection. If you wanted to, if you hadn't done Christmas shopping yet.
Do residuals go to Mr. Kevin Spacey?
Oh, no, not for soundtrack.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
Soundtrack.
For soundtrack, sure. I didn't think about them. You do own the movie, so never mind.
Yeah. I already own the movie. I bought.
The movie basically is the soundtrack, though.
I remember the movie came out and on DVD and Blu-ray and stuff, and I had already pre-ordered it. And then like the day after that launch, it was like Kevin Spacey's a monster, and I was like, oh, oh no. And I remember like the same day my Amazon package came with the movie, and I was like, great.
Baby Driver came out at the perfect time because you were able to enjoy Kevin Spacey at that point.
Yeah.
For like 2 months.
Yeah. People on Twitter are trying to tell me that Ansel Elgort is like a terrible person.
Oh.
And there's just not enough evidence or people beyond saying like, oh, a friend of mine said this, and I'm just like, I don't believe you. Listen, and I'm comfortable not believing you.
Listen, I agree with that. I haven't heard anything concrete, but also we had a whole podcast about Joss Whedon. I don't know. It's a whole. I as principal do not like anybody in Hollywood. There's
a couple people I like in Hollywood.
Okay.
Edgar Wright.
Sure.
We just said his name.
Well, that's the thing.
I follow Edgar Wright on Instagram.
I feel like
Sean. what's his name? From Huey's dad in
You're thinking
The
of
Boys.
not Sean. Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg.
I almost said Sean Penn.
Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright are real life best buds. And I follow Edgar Wright on Instagram, and he's always like, hey, I was out having dinner with my buddy Simon Pegg, and we took these silly pictures. Take a look. And it's just like, yeah, you guys are silly.
I understand and agree with that, but at the same time, all of my likes have asterisks next to them of just like, I like I'll be like, man, I really like Sebastian Stan. Unless he's a monster. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's like, that's how I qualify all of that from now on. The only people who were able to get away with it was Betty White, and thankfully I don't need to worry about that, even though...
Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks is he just did Pinocchio, so I can't forgive him for that. But,
he took a paycheck.
No, I'm just kidding. Keanu Reeves is okay. Yeah. Keanu Reeves seems like he's pretty much out of the phase of being like
I'll give you another one.
possible.
Since you don't follow football anymore, and I do. Jalen Hurts. He is the quarterback for the Eagles right now. He is a very stand-up guy. When interviewed about games, they're always like, Jalen, how does it feel to be crushing so-and-so right now? Like crushing the Vikings on Monday Night Football. And he was like, we're just out there playing football and having fun. And I've always loved playing football since I was a teeny kid. So every day I go out here and play. It's like a dream come true for me. This is the greatest day of my life, playing football right here for all these fans. And I'm just like, dude, Philadelphia is going to rip you to pieces, man. They don't deserve you, Jalen Hurts. And he was playing a game at the Washington Stadium, and he's walking by the locker room, and the stands fell apart, and people fell on him. And he caught them, and he posed for selfies. And he was just having a blast, making sure people are okay and taking pictures while, like, EMTs came in to check people out. Jalen Hurts is a fucking national treasure, and Philadelphia doesn't deserve him. Half this city fucking hates him, and I don't know why. He's a great quarterback. I'm a Ravens fan. I'm unbiased, but fucking hell, Philly, you don't deserve Jalen Hurts. Give him to Baltimore since we can't seem to sign fucking Lamar Jackson to a contract. We're gonna lose him. I need a sports podcast. Where's Brandon Gathercole? Anyway, She-Hulk was great. I'm excited for the rest of the plot.
I do actually have one or two things that I still have that's actually She-Hulk related.
For the one person that's still listening. Yes, go ahead.
Nikki, still coming through as the best character, slowly but surely. She has a scene specifically that sort of cemented it, where it's funny and also highlights the thing I was talking about last time of just, no, she's just a good best friend.
She's a good best friend.
Where Mallory doesn't want to tell her about intelligentsia. She sends like a voicemail, because there's always that thing of like every show does this where you don't want to tell the friend or whatever, and they keep it a secret, and then they find out and they're mad about it, and then they're mad at each other, and then they forgive each other, and it's the same thing every time, and it just hard cuts to it's Nikki says that she won't tell Jen, and then immediately it cuts to her in the car, sending her a voicemail, and she has a great line of, she's just like, Mallory told me not to tell you because you went in your head and, affecting everything and blah, 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 blah. And obviously I didn't do that, but it's the best line in the episode. And it's only at like the very, very end. The only other thing I have to say is, I liked the wedding stuff, but once again, I feel like if the episode was a little bit longer, they could have done more. Like a setup of a superhero at a wedding, and they don't want the superhero to be a superhero, but also they're not great friends, is like, I feel like that's a slam dunk premise for like a comedy
absolutely
thing. And they didn't really do a whole lot, and they kept saying that her friend Lulu was like being a monster to all these people, and they didn't really show that.
No, they didn't even show it at all.
Yeah, so I feel like they could have. It's a thing of, if they didn't cram these to be like 20-minute episodes, they could potentially do more with these sort of premises, which is weird because I think that some of them they did pretty well. Like the like I thought that the magician guy in episode 4 is good. I thought that, or that's episode 3. I thought that, I don't know what it was. Times flat
whatever,
circle.
Doesn't matter.
I mean, Blonsky got 2 episodes, so that's cheating. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But there's issues tied to the timing of the show.
Yes.
That being said, do you have any horrible wedding stories before we close this out? I have one that I want to segue into.
No, go for it.
So, recently I went to my very first wedding that I've ever actually gone to.
I'm familiar, yeah.
Fantastic wedding. My friends, Rob and Maria.
Do you want to come to my wedding next year?
Am I allowed to come?
I haven't decided yet, actually.
Okay,
I'm just asking you if you'd want to come.
I would like to, yeah.
Okay, cool. That might sway my opinion.
Okay.
You keep going with your story.
I think I may have a new bad wedding story. So, it was legitimately maybe one of the best days of my life. Their wedding. It was very, very fun. I was a groomsperson. It was great. And I went, and so Men's Warehouse. I went to.
Why? I already know your story's bad. You went to fucking Men's Warehouse.
So it's because I was a groomsman, so everybody had to have the same one. It was already pre-registered for me. We all lived in different states, so we needed a big chain to do it, right? So
no, the answer is no. No, you didn't. There's a better way to organize this, but that's neither here
I
nor
wasn't
there.
the organizer, so but so I go to this Men's Warehouse, and I live in New Jersey, and I go up and I go. They're coming in and I go.
When
do
you
my
moved to
measurements.
New Jersey, did they issue you a Bruce Springsteen album?
No, I haven't changed over my plates and everything yet. So
okay. When you go to the DMV
it'll
and get
happen.
your New Jersey
yeah,
license,
it will happen. It
that's
just
when you get
hasn't
your
yet.
Springsteen album and your
Mhm.
wife beater and your accent.
Right.
Just checking.
It's when I become vaguely Italian, but not enough to detect.
Just enough to beat your wife.
Just performatively Italian.
Oh, what a great adjective.
So, but I go to the Men's Warehouse.
I'm performatively Italian. I'm not actually Italian.
But I go and I get measured, and I ask the guy, I go,
Do you have anything for a giraffe?
No.
Sorry.
I go,
Sorry.
does this go down, because the wedding's in North Carolina. I go, is this going to go down to Jersey, or is this going to go down to North Carolina? Where should I pick it up? And they're like, this is going to go to Jersey. And I was like, cool, okay. No, I'm wrong.
They said North Carolina, didn't they?
No. They said they actually said we can get it delivered to this store, and I was like, awesome. I come back a few days early just to like really check in, and I'm like, hey, is this still like just to make sure, because I didn't remember. It's like months later now.
Sure.
I go, is this going to be delivered at this store? And she goes, let me look it up for you. Or the guy goes, let me look this up for you. Types it in and goes, yeah, it says here that your suit is going to Maryland. And I go, well, that's neither of the places that I'm going to. And he goes, well, don't worry. Maryland's like just like one step off of I-95 if you're driving all the way down. And I'm like, well, I'm not driving all the way down. I'm taking a plane. So...
Also, I'm not going to make a detour on my fucking trip to pick up my suit because
for my
y'all
friend's
fucked
wedding
up.
that I'm
You're
in.
You needed me there. You need to fucking fix your shit, Men's Warehouse.
Well, don't worry, because the guy was just like, all right, let me just do some things. All right, don't worry, I can get it delivered to this store on, I forget what day it was, but it was like a few days before the wedding. I was like, cool.
I'm going to guess that didn't happen, Troy.
I show up, and it's a different woman working there, and I go, hey, is my suit here? And she goes, yeah, let me check that for you. She types in and she goes, yeah, it says here that it's in Maryland. And I'm like, but I needed to be here. The wedding's in like 4 days. And she's like talking through it and everything like that. She calls up the Men's Warehouse in North Carolina, and the guy puts her, it's a Men's Warehouse calling Men's Warehouse. They put her on hold for like 30 minutes. And I'm just sitting there like, oh God. Oh no, I've ruined the wedding. Eventually I did finally get the suit in Jersey the day before my plane left.
No, scratch that. For my wedding, Troy,
Mm-hmm.
you can wear whatever the fuck you goddamn well please. I don't give a fuck what's
That's too
on
much
your
power
body.
for me. I will show up in like one of those like inflatable T-Rex costumes.
If you think I wouldn't love that, you don't know me as a person. All right? I want you to show up to my wedding in an inflatable T-Rex suit, in a fucking Hawaiian shirt and shorts.
Is Red okay with that?
I don't give a shit. It's my wedding too. My word also goes. All right?
If Red appeared around the corner with a terrified look on her face.
Baby, this podcast is already off the walls, and we're going to end this in like 2 seconds. Troy just told a horror story about trying to get a matching suit for a wedding and how it almost went to the wrong state. Blah, 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 blah. I told Troy, I don't give a fuck what they wear as long as they're at my wedding. And Troy said, I will show up in an inflatable T-Rex suit. And I said, if you think I wouldn't love that, you're fucking wrong.
Push him out of one or two of the main pictures, but other than that, I see no issue.
Thank you. I told you. My future wife is on the exact same page as me.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Then let it be written.
Let it be written, Troy's coming to my wedding in an inflatable T-Rex suit.
Can the T-Rex also be wearing a suit? So I
Yes!
look formal, but also
Yes!
am a T-Rex.
Yes. Oh, God. I'm going to find you a top hat and a monocle. And you'll
Hmm.
just be the fanciest fucking T-Rex. Honestly, if you don't think I'd love that, you're fucking stupid. That's our show, everyone. Links are in the description. Click them if you want. We're done. I'm cutting it here. There's no more talk of suits or weddings or T-Rexes. We're done.
I noticed that She-Hulk was not in that lineup of things.
Oh, yeah, also She-Hulk. Guys, if you're not watching She-Hulk, why are you listening to our podcast? If you're not already fully on board, why are you here listening to this bullshit? Troy, this was my favorite episode we've done in a while.
But with all 5 minutes of She-Hulk,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd like to apologize to everybody.
Troy, would you like a non sequitur to go out on?
No, absolutely not.
The Pittsburgh Steelers
Oh my god.
are playing the Cleveland Browns tonight in Thursday Night Football. Do you know who either of their quarterbacks are?
No, and as you tell me, let me go bang my head against this wall real quick.
Mitch Trubisky for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Jacoby Brissett for the fucking Cleveland Browns.
All right, I think I've properly given myself a concussion. I'm good now. Let's end the podcast.
Perfect.